Welcome to my American History Notes, where I discuss conclusions I've drawn from American history. And I mention things that, even though you might not agree with anything I say, you should know about them or should at least be willing to look them up, check on YouTube here, just review them so to your understanding, so you're aware of them. Um, so we're going to begin today with some conflicts that preceded the American Revolution that build up to it. Just a few mentions. There's some things we're just going to mention here that in this particular episode that we might get into more detailed later, or they are things that you can look up on your own if you have questions. But there were some conflicts and battles that preceded the Revolution now, and these included Pontiac's Rebellion in 1763, which was defeated at the Battle of Bushy Run. Then there was the Yankee Pennamite Wars that lasted from 1769, which didn't end until 1807, between Connecticut and Pennsylvania settlers in the Wyoming Valley of the Susquehanna River. Drafting of Connecticut settlers for the Revolutionary War so depleted manpower that the settlement fell easy prey to a 1778 massacre by New York Tories loyal to the crown. Between 1770 and 1774, growing colonial resentment of royal rule led to repressive measures by the Brits, or perhaps it was vice versa. The Battle of the Golden Hill and the Boston Massacre in January and March of 1770 increased the tension dramatically. The Boston Tea Party in 1773 resulted in Parliament putting Boston under military rule. First Continental Congress met in resistance in 1774 at Philadelphia. In 1771, there had been an uprising in western North Carolina by a group of frontier settlers calling themselves the Regulators, most of whom were Baptists, who defied royal rule. There was Lord Dunmore's War in 1774 between Virginia militia, led by Governor Murray, Earl of Dunmore and Shawnee, which gave the settlers confidence in the militia's ability to fight. King George III succeeded his grandfather, George II, in 1760 and dismissed William Pitt because he felt Pitt was too ambitious. The king opened peace negotiations with France and Spain. Spain gave up East and West Florida to England, and France gave Spain the vast province of Louisiana. The Mississippi became the boundary between English and Spanish domains. Britain was supreme on the oceans in India and in North America. However, although everyone seemed to feel patriotic toward England, the 7 Years' War had done more harm to the colony's loyalty to England than to cement it. The victory had been too complete. The balance of power was upset. France was determined to push things the other way so that from now on, any dispute between the colonies and England would be encouraged by France. From the colonists' point of view, they had won the war with a little help from the British Army and Navy, and their confidence was abundant. The British government, however, held on stubbornly to the view that colonists were a cowardly rabble, easily routed in the face of the enemy and unable to defend themselves. The royal disallowance of the laws put forth by colonial assemblies was exercised after the war by the Twopenny Act of Virginia, which prompted Patrick Henry to demand that the king's actions had forfeited his rights to his colonial subjects' obedience. Accusations of treason were leveled at Henry. It must be remembered that while Americans considered their own interests first, the British viewed the colonies as mere possessions to be disposed of and treated in any manner they saw fit. Also, England was not prepared nor capable of administering the vast new territories they had acquired of Florida, Canada, and the many nations of Native Americans they now owned. So we'll stop there, and we have some concepts to talk about English liberty and what people believed and felt they were entitled to. These will be important next time. All right. Thank you for watching.